happening, guys? Just spoke to Tamer. He's just changing the phone over. I think he won't be long. Looking forward to this one. This is going to be a belter. Yeah, as you know, Tamer's doing. I don't know if you do know, Tamer's been doing a lot for mental health. He's an ambassador with me. With Don't Suffer in Silence. We're both ambassadors there. And he's been helping out Mask Out Heroes. He's been driving around delivering masks up and down the country, putting a lot of effort in. Do you know what I mean? He's what's that? The Sheba Ranks cover. I don't know any, Mark. Sorry, mate. Shouldn't be long now. It's coming on soon. Let's see what he's up to. He shouldn't be long, guys. He shouldn't be long. I would like to leave this city. This old town don't smell too pretty, and I can feel the warning signs running around my mind. And if I leave this island, put myself into a soul asylum, I can feel the warning signs running around my mind. Here I go, still scratching around in the same old hole. My body feels young, but my mind is very old. Why would you say you can't give me the dreams, 'cause they're mine anyway? Half the world away, half the world away, half the world away. I've been lost, I've been found, and I don't feel down. Here we go, Tamer's just come on, guys. Lovely. Thanks for being patient, gang. It's connecting. It's the big man himself. Hey!
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm the most dyslexic person on the planet. In my head, it was 9 o'clock. I'm still around my mum.
At least you got the day right.
No. Say hello, mum. Mum, say hello.
Hello, mum.
So I was, you know what I was doing today? I was running out doing some masks and that, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna take a bit of time for myself and go and do a bit of shopping for mum and get the car washed and just do a little bit for me. But I still got some drops in.
Stop. I was just saying before you come online, I was just telling people how much you're doing for mental health and this Mask Out Heroes. Every time I look, you're up and down the country.
We went up to we was in Halifax, Yorkshire, Manchester, Liverpool. We meant to do Birmingham, but we didn't get to do Birmingham. But me, Dapper, and Jimmy Bullard. So a couple of our ambassadors, kindly enough, and you know, people sponsored us cars, and we went up there.
Lovely.
Bully put his hand in his pocket, and we just did our thing, mate. It was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. When you're wrapped around Bully,
I've been a fly on the wall with you.
Listen, it was all right. There was a lot of social distancing going on. I got to tell you, there was a little bit ad because I actually conned them into saying, listen, we'll have a right knees up, but I stuck them all in different apartments. I was going around the place. And they were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So they was kind of isolated with their people. But it was good, man. Brilliant. We got a lot done. It was lovely, and it's overwhelming that. It's overwhelming. It's disturbing more than anything, Rob, that nobody's got any masks still, mate. It's like when you go out there and you see it, and you how can I put it? And you get there and you see the gratitude on their face. Like the nurses are coming out of hospitals with no masks on, mate.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you got all these fucking rogue traders, and I'm going to out them, sitting there on millions of masks, trying to get their mortgages paid off, when there's people out there suffering on the front line. It's like our government's putting soldiers. You wouldn't send a fucking soldier into battle, would you? Without a bulletproof vest and a gun, would you?
Definitely, and a gun. No, that's right.
But that's what they are for us now. They're our fucking heroes. They're on the front line working. And, you know, people turn around and gone, you know, oh, you're a hero, Tam. No, I ain't, mate. No, I ain't. I'm just trying to do a bit of good, mate. I'm not in there. They are. So, you know, it's lovely for people to see that, but not in a million years, mate. Never, ever am I that, and they are still our heroes with wings, and they're just doing such an amazing job. But what we're doing as well, we're doing a lot for the NHS, but we're doing a lot for children's hospices, care homes, fire stations. We're going to fire stations, mate. They haven't got any. You know, me and Callum, bless him, he was meant to come up, but he had a few bits to do, some work commitments. But me and Callum do London, so you know we're walking through the like. How could I put it? Callum said, like, where his father passed away, he said, oh, that's a private hospital. That's Knightsbridge or Kensington or Chelsea. And he went, they're going to be all right. Oh, they fuck. They're not, mate. We went to the hospital in Chelsea, Marsden, Brompton. We're going to all these hospitals, and they're like, yeah, please, can we get some? So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the borough. It doesn't matter how wealthy the borough is. It doesn't matter. Every place around the country which I've seen are desperate for these masks. And you know, I just want to thank everyone that's did the Upside Down Challenge. Keep donating, please. Keep donating. If it's a penny, it's a pound, we'll take it. We've distributed tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of masks. There's still a little bit of money in the kitty, so we're going to constantly keep buying. And I just want to thank all of you lot, every one of you. And look, I'm not doing this for any press. Everyone I know, I spoke to, I said, if there's one cameraman or press outside one, I'm out. Do you know what I mean? So the reason why I'm posting it and letting you see, I want you to all see where your money's going. I want you to all see that I'm putting myself on the line with Callum, with our ambassadors, with Daps and Jimmy Bullard, and all of you are welcome to come and join in, because apart from giving them masks, it's so lovely. It's like, I don't want it to sound too sort of dramatic, but it's like when you go and visit the troops, and you know what I mean? It's like you go and see the firemen, and you go and have a bit of banter with them, and you know, when you got Callum Best and Jimmy Bullard, you know, the girls go fucking crazy, don't they? I'm too old for all that. But it's nice to bring Callum, because he's such, I even fancy him, do you know what I mean? So a couple of times, what we're doing, we're driving around. We're driving around, and I've got to tell you, we haven't got no one arranging anything. Well, no one doing anything. We've got our team that are doing their best to get them. But me and Callum just ring them up. We just pull up outside the hospital and go, do you want some? We're from Mask Guy Heroes. And to start with, well, I'll have a bit of banter with you. To start with, they weren't wearing it because a lot of these players got their own charities, so there's a little bit of politics. The minute I've got Callum Best with me, they're like, "Oh, you have? So we need some." The minute I go, Callum's outside, they go, "Yes, we love." So we're actually having to fight to get them there, because, and you know, there's a lot of politics around it. And I'm saying, listen, I don't care. It doesn't matter what charities out there, as long as we're all joining hands and uniting as a nation to give to these frontline workers. That's all that matters. I've got Masks for Heroes. Jay Rutland and tomorrow I've got Art for Heroes, which is amazing. Everybody's doing their bit. So it doesn't matter who it comes to, as long as you're all donating, as long as we're fucking joint hand as a nation and we're helping these people.
And what's it like out there, Tim? I ain't been up London. Someone said it's really eerie up there at times, isn't it? It can be like...
It's horrendous, mate. It's eerie. What I'm going to say is everybody's taking the piss out of what Boris Johnson says, what he says. It's a lot of understanding. Mate, I'm going out and people think they're in fucking Marbella.
Fucking sunbathing.
There ain't a mask in sight. Everyone's throwing frisbees, right? Holding hands, putting the lips on each other, standing at the bus stops, and then they're wondering why I mean, on the serious one, our body count is highest in Europe. Like, we got to fucking stay at home. You've got to take it seriously, mate. Because if you're not doing it for yourself, do it for the ones that are putting their own lives and their own families at risk. Stay the fuck at home, mate. Seriously. Sorry for the language, but I know it's not past the watershed, but it's serious, mate. You've got to stay at home, guys. You've got to stay at home. And, you know, you can't blame Boris for being a little bit, you know, what's going on, because he can see what's going on. He's not stupid. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's down to us. Look at everywhere else. Everywhere else is complaining. Conspiracy theories are popping up, Rob. Oh, why is China? Why is Greece? Why is that one? Why? Because they did as they were told.
Yeah, they stayed indoors. Yeah,
they stayed indoors. I'm like that. Bollocks. We're all right.
What's the chances?
It's not a laughing matter. But listen, I buried my auntie. I've had a couple of friends go from it. This charity was born from a man, Alan McGowan, and I want to raise a glass, and I want everyone just to take a minute for that man who, on his deathbed, he was watching the nurses swapping masks and sharing masks, and he begged his son, Matt, who's an entrepreneur and a very successful man, like his father was, to please set up a charity to help these people. And I want everyone just to take a minute, 30 seconds, just to raise a glass and remember this man. He was buried today. He was buried today. If we could just have 30 seconds of silence just to remember this man, Alan McGowan from Mask Our Heroes. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, everyone.
No, that's class.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
and just for him.
That story was class, that. And he's
just to let,
you know?
just to let, and it's a true story. I never got to meet the great man, but he's I got all emotional then. But just thank you, everyone, for that. And I just want to send his family, Matt, Max, you know, all the kids and everyone. Just to let you know, we're thinking of you. I hope you had the best send-off ever, and his name will live on forever, because we're going to keep this Mask Our Heroes going for as long as we can, because whether we like it, they are going to be world disasters, and we are going to constantly be collecting money, collecting PPE, and giving it to disasters around the world. So
yeah, that's brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much. I love you all. All right, here we go.
Because what happened is, before I recorded with Tamer come on about 3 weeks ago. A lot of people missed it, and I recorded it and put it out there. But when I recorded it, a lot of the sound went. So, would you like if we go over some of the stuff we were before?
I've got the headphones on now.
Oh, sweet.
I've got you ask away, mate. You ask away. As you know me, I freelance, I ad lib, and I just shoot off the cuff and speak from the heart.
Tamer's from, I know, I'm Robert Ashley, the UK's #1 unconscious mind therapist, and I've been doing these talks with people about success and their mindset. And Tamer's from South London, like me, just down the road from New Cross.
South East London.
South East, we got it right.
South East, get it right. SC14. I'm actually here now. I'm in New Cross. I'm with my mum. I'm at my mum. She's still here. So I'm here down in New Cross with my mum.
I was down Bermondsey yesterday. My old man had 9 years he's been gone. So I'm only going to meet his
pal. I see that. And we'll raise a glass for the old man as well, mate.
Yeah, beautiful. Cheers, yeah, it's blinding. But yeah, so Tamer's from New Cross, and it's great to see, you know, people from working class. We talked about before about like being off council estates. Tamer's on about picking sweets up where we're so skint and stuff. Like, it's amazing to see how people's mindsets changing, you know. And you know, you've been very successful before you was an actor, Tam, weren't you? You've always been, you know, you used to own a boxing club we was talking about down at Eltham and stuff, and the football clubs. And
if we go way back, my mum, bless her, she's sitting in front of me. She's my world and my life and my heart and soul. And she always knew from a very young age I could not take an order. So she knew from a very young age it was going to be a very difficult thing to work for someone else. Yeah. Someone else. So my mum's always been one of the boys, been a tomboy. She comes from a very big family, and she's always been business oriented. Always taught us how to own. She's always said you got to own your house. You got to work for yourselves. You got to be. She's always driven us to get more. Yeah. And my mum was a machinist, and even my mum, coming over here as an uneducated immigrant, hard-working immigrant, back in the day, she was a machinist, a seamstress. And even my mum then, she'd have the whole estate working for her. So she'd get all the graft and she'd distribute all the graft and make money.
All around people's houses.
Yeah, and then she started me off many years ago on a market stall. And she used to do a lot of work for like Miss Selfridges and places like that. But what she used to do, she used to get a lot of the clothes that are left over. She could buy for cheap. Like they'd have back in the day, $10.99 for a dress. A chiffon dress with big dough, you know what I mean? And she'd get it for like 75 pence, and she'd change the labels and put $39.99 on them. Do you know? So I'll be down the East Lane Market. East Lane Market, we had a new Covent Garden. We'd go Bromley, and my mum she used to have a Beetle convertible. We used to break the stall down, put it on the roof rack, throw all the clothes in the back. My mum used to drive, because I didn't have a license. So mum used to drive me there, set me up, and I started in business at about, mum, was it 12 years old? Only cash and that? Only cash and that, I saw them there, and the market stall there. No, sorry. She said, I'll quote you. She said you was working in Londy's supermarket round the corner at 12. And then when you got to 15, 6, 14, 15, she got me on the market stores.
Okay,
and I
she's
said,
grafting from as long as.
yeah,
grafted
long
straight
as,
away.
mate, as long as. And it's that whole manifestation thing, isn't it? What I was saying. We're manifesting. People put wish boards up and all of that stuff, which is great. And you have to do that. And I think now this is all like a new thing. I think subconsciously when we was going, I'm 52 years old, but subconsciously, if you think about it, we've always been doing that. And I said this, but we've always been doing that. If you think about when you're young, you put posters up, don't you? And remember we was talking about the Freeman's catalogue, and we'd all sit there looking at the and wish that we could have those things, and then you manifested that hard without knowing it. You're so innocent about it. You end up getting it. It's like the cars. I had Ferraris. I've always been mad for cars and guns.
Lovely.
Believe it or not, guns. I was mad with war and soldiers and guns and things. And my mum used to say to me, she's sitting there, she used to say to me, we used to live up the top. We used to live on Queen's Road, and there was like 7 flights of stairs, and we was at the top in like 3 small little apartment we had at the top. We was all sort of sharing up there, and then there was no such thing as intercoms. When the bell rings, someone's got to go down and open
all the way down the bar.
And my mum gave me a picture of my uncle, her brother. He was a soldier, and he was holding the gun. And she'd always go up to me and say, quick, go downstairs. It's your uncle's flown over from Cyprus to give you the gun.
Yeah, to give
go down
you right up.
Run down the side. She go, is it not him? I'm sorry, son. I go, it's not him again, Mum. It's not him. She go, he will come, I promise. He will come. but we used to manifest. We used to manifest stuff like Ferraris, and I've always been car mad, and Ferraris and stuff you put up there. The only thing I didn't get was Madonna. I posted to Madonna. I think, but I got the nearest best.
The nearest thing.
The nearest thing. But I did get to meet her. I sat in the cinema with her. And the first film I did was A Calcium Kid, and Alex Sarakov was really good friends with Guy Ritchie, and then he was married to her at the time. We screened it in LA, and she was there, which was lovely. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
What was she like, Sam?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Absolute winner, mate. Yeah, amazing. Guy Ritchie did. I think Guy weren't too happy about it because she used to fancy Antonio Banderas. And they said if Steven Seagal and Antonio Banderas had a baby, it looked like me. So I think I was half in the game there. Got a bit paranoid. About it. But listen.
Sit over
there. I was just rubbing my leg a little. No, she weren't. I fuck up the shot when I would have get nicked in a minute. But you know what? The whole manifestation thing, Rob, is it's always been there. But I think as a kid, you do it subconsciously. I remember walking.
Yeah, you don't know it. You don't realise what you're doing. Yeah.
When I started painting, decorating, when I left school, and I was a painting, decorating and stuff, and I'd walk past houses. I've always liked houses. And do you remember the ones on the lakes in Bermondsey? Remember when they first went up? They were the really luxury. Off Jamaica Road. Downtown. Off Jamaica Road, yeah. Around near Rotherhithe, and they were called the Lakes. Yeah. They were the beautiful apartments that went up because they were the kind of first ever luxury sort of thing in South East London, because you never ever see anything
you
like
never see that. Because that was when we was kids. That was all old houses and corrugated iron, wasn't it? It was a shit.
Correct. That's right. Yeah. Terraced houses like Burgess Park, Old Kent Road, all them, but all terraced houses. You know what I mean? And I remember I was painting a lot of them. I was working for my cousin Joe, and I was painting a lot of them around. I always used to think, I wish I could have one of these. I wish I could have one of these. Subconsciously, before you know it, you've got one. And I've always found that I've always got what I've wanted. Even like me when I was a kid, I'd be racially abused, Paki, this, that. You just, because there was us, the Greeks, there was the Cypriots, the West Indians, and the Irish when we was here. There wasn't no one else. It was just us.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for us growing up. And even like, I used to look at the girls and I used to think, oh, I'd love to go with you. Before you knew it, I was there.
You was there?
I was there as a kid. I was there. Not so bad
now.
Yeah, exactly. It's there. But you know, but I think, listen, you're the expert at all this, but for me, I just talk how I see things and how things are.
I've been doing this. Sorry, I was saying I've been doing this for the last 3 weeks now, talking to successful people like Tamer. And what you just said then, I spoke to Terry Stone a few days ago, and he said he didn't know what he was doing. He said when he was the same poor, he worked at McDonald's, his first job. He said, I've been walking home past these nice houses, looking at them and thinking, I'd love one of these. I love one of these. And he said, 5 years later, I had one of them, one of these big houses, you know what I mean? And he said, I was doing it subconsciously. So what we're all talking about here, everyone, is that everything gets made twice. You know, people might have read The Secret, Law of Attraction, and stuff like that, which similar sort of thing. Well, it is law of attraction, basically. But, you know, there's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. If you start studying that, it makes it a lot easier to understand. But basically, we're talking about creating what you want inside your mind. But not just like people have these vision boards, yeah? But if you just look at a picture, you ain't going to get fuck all. You're looking at a picture, you got a picture of a bike, you ain't going to get a bike. You have to imagine having the bike. You have to imagine what it feels like.
Got to want it.
You got to want it, yeah. You got to get that.
You got to want it. You got to own it.
And you got to create, and you got to make the effort, yeah. You got to raise your standards.
And do you know what? Do you know what is people? It's always you always hear that. Be careful what you ask for, right? And that's very true. So true. It's not be careful what you ask for. It's be careful how you ask.
That's
how.
True.
You know what I mean? It's not what you ask for. It's how you ask for it. You see, like, because as you grow up, and it's not anybody's fault. You grow up, you start understanding about competition. You start understanding about enemies. You start understanding about anger, revenge, guilt. You start getting all these sort of feelings inside you because of what society feeds you, right? And then once all of those elements, I think, are put into the mix of this manifestation, it makes it a lot more harder to get because the frustration kicks in. Social media. Years ago, we didn't have social media. Everybody wants that quick fix. But let me tell you something. What you see on social media, 99.9999999% isn't what you see.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's like, I think society... youngsters got a lot lazier. They don't want to work for it. Not the majority of youngsters. The millennials are great because they're moving into a new millennium, and the way they think, the way they work, the way they manifest their lives, and what they believe in is a lot different to what is now. But it's not a lot different to what it was, because these millennials now, what I believe, and these are the kids you should start listening to, they're starting to trade. If you look at even my daughter and young kids around me, teenagers, they won't talk, but they'll text. Have you got red nail varnish? I'll tell you what, I'll give you a pair of shoes for them. So they're starting to trade like we used to back in the day.
It grows just done digitally,
but it's just done digitally. So and look, I don't want to get into the technical and the politics side of it, but you know, governments, organisations are collapsing. Why? Because these kids don't give a fuck. And they're thinking differently. So they don't care. You know, they're thinking differently. But I think that whole manifestation process, it's got to be put your vision board up. But if you're putting a vision board up of 8 million quid or a yacht or a plane, it doesn't work like that. It isn't that fucking easy. You've got to start writing things down. Write it down. And I keep saying it, write it down. Get up, meditate, pray. First of all, you pray for your gratitude. Thank you for what you got. Not please can I have. Thank you for what you got. Get on your knees. Put your hands together. Thank you for what I got. Then you write down what you want. Just write it down. Visualize. And I'm not you by any means, Robert. But
no, you speak, mate. You do it all. I'm studying you.
No. What I would do, I visualize myself in that space. Like, you want an Oscar. Visualize yourself walking down the red carpet and visualize yourself giving that speech, and stay in that, because it goes quite quickly, because that whole mindset of playing tricks on you is a fucker, mate, because before you know it, and this is everyone, that little fucker would jump in there and go, shut up, soppy bollocks, go and get some milk. You know what I mean? The old woman's on you. Go and get the milk. And you start thinking, what was I meant to do for the old woman or my mum? And then it just jumps in. So hence why meditation's so important.
I'll say to people, visualise every morning when you wake up. But the reality is, like you're saying, is staying in that vibrational.
Staying in there, that's right. Stay in your power.
If you, a lot of the, I flew to Dubai, works a billionaire, and he's telling me that in the evening, he said, I was so throughout the day stressed. He said, I'd always lay in bed visualising the cars. He said, I didn't know I was doing it. He said, everything I visualise, but I think night time's a good one, because if you can fall asleep, most people go to bed thinking this mundane shit, like, what am I doing tomorrow? I'm going to take a dog for a walk, go to work, pop round, see me auntie, blah, blah.
Robotised.
And they fall asleep on this shit mundane vibration, what they're doing tomorrow. Where I'll say, get them thoughts out your head. You got to have them, you know what I mean? Get what you're doing tomorrow out your nut. Then lay in bed, and then you start creating your visions till you fall asleep. That way you're in 8 hours of vibration. If you're asleep for 8, the last thing you thought about, you're in this emotion, that's transmitting for 8 hours. So in the morning, it's good to set your RAS system. But like Tamer said, for lightning, you get in the car, you can sit in there, meditate, feel good. You get in the car, someone cuts you up, you're like, oh, you wanker, you fucking talking to, you straight out, you've only been at the door 5 minutes and someone stressed you out and, you know, they can break your pattern.
Sleep times.
Yeah.
And that sleep process works for people in my profession. Like, I'll always say I'm untrained, and I kind of found my own way through acting, learning lines and all of that stuff. But I always say, if you drive yourself mad trying to learn these lines, but you're walking up and down, you're smoking, you're doing what you're doing, trying to get these lines in, but there's always something else going on around there. And little things like familiarize yourself with it. Even if it's called familiarize yourself with it. Go to sleep with it. Have it in your ear. Let the lines be talking to you. Record your lines. Have them in your ear. Fall asleep with them in your ear. And 9 times out of 10, you wake up, it's off the tongue. Really? Right? You roll it out, mate. You roll it out. But you've got to want to do it. You've got to want to be in there. And you roll it out.
I'm a Freemason, Tam, and I've had to learn some lines. It's fucking hard.
I'll teach you.
It's so hard, mate. Would you?
No, I'll teach you. I'll teach you. So I've got some great techniques. I've got some great techniques for you. I've got some great. Well, after this, when you got a minute, me and you'll jump on and I'll teach you some great. I'll give you some homework.
I would love that, Tam. Right? Definitely. 100%, mate. That'd be phenomenal. I struggled with it. It done me nothing for about a week just to learn a few lines.
And it drives you mad because you let it drive you mad.
Yeah,
come on, you should know this better.
Yeah, it's because I'm dyslexic. You know what? No,
I'm dyslexic, but I've got a photographic memory.
What I've done is I recorded it. Then I spoke it in the phone. Then I just listened to it, and it was easy. Then getting the melody and everything. But do
you just listen, or do you repeat as you're saying it?
Yeah, repeat as I say it. When I got it at the end, that's what I was doing. It took me about a week before I figured that out.
Unless you've got a whole script to learn. See, when I'm learning lines as well, I learn everybody else's lines, Rob, because it gives you that freedom. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of actors are lazy and they're hanging on that last word of their dialogue. I'll learn everybody else's lines before I learn mine, because that gives you the freedom. Look at what we're doing. We're acting. This is freedom.
I like that. That's a good idea. So in other words, you know what he's going to say, so you can then work on your expressions.
And you know what? If he changes it, it doesn't matter, because I've already got the body of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's all about timing. I've already got the body of it. And I'll understand when he's finished. If he cuts 2 bits out at the end of it, it don't matter, because I know the scene. I know everybody's scene. I've got a comfortable feeling within that space, and I'm not going to switch off and let the camera see that I've switched off. Because I'm there, it don't matter. I'll just wait. I'll know when you've finished. On the day, if we rehearse and on the day it's different to the rehearsal, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not that precious, because I've already got the time. I've already got the feeling. I know your energy. I know where you're going with it. And when you've stopped, then I'll just come in.
Can I ask you a question, Tam? You know, like a lot of actors, what people don't always focus on the words and that, but it's the actual the neurology. Like you're a powerful character. Like when you're in like one of your scenes.
Mum, get to the source. So get to the. Go on, sorry, mate. Just
when you're in your scenes, you're like powerful fella. Do you know what I mean? Like you always, as you said, you was in the Football Factory. And
yeah.
You said you've only had a few parts in it, but people seem to think that you're.
I think I had 8 or 9 scenes in it. But when Nick peppered me all the way through the film, you think I'm in it all the way through. Because when I turn up, each scene is so powerful and so menacing, it's like, fuck me, he's here. So that fear and that menace, but you've got to drive that. You've got to have that. Your stillness, and you've got to drive that energy through. Like Danny, well, that scene in the toilet, Danny went to me, you're going to fucking hit me, ain't you? Right? I just walked past him, I might. I just fucked him off. Do you know what I mean? Just fucked him off. He's my best mate. I love him, but I just fucked him off. So then when we're in there, it gets to the point where I've got eight beasts around me, and him on his own in that toilet, right? And that was at Greenwich Borough, by the way. I was in the Greenwich Borough toilet. And he don't know what's coming. Do you know what I mean? He don't know what's coming. No, switch it off, man. He don't know what's coming. And that whole reality of not knowing really resonates on the screen. So it's not really about me being overpowering, because I'm already a big lump. Yeah. It's getting him to react to that overpower. So it's the reaction. Don't act, react. It's that reaction, which is an art in itself. You know, I don't want to sit here preaching about acting like I'm fucking Stanislavski, but I'm not. But people see what I do, and that a lot of people will say, "Oh, that role was made for you." No, it wasn't, mate. You got to get on and do it in front of 1,000 people, mate, in a box, and make it look real. Do you know? People just think I woke up and go, but I've honed my art. I've always gone on, and I've learned, and I've found my own way through it.
Who's your man? Who's your man, Tam? Who's your favourite actor?
Well, Bob Hoskins, God rest his soul, my Hollywood dad. He took me under his wing. We did a film. I think it was like my third film, and I did a film called Unleashed, Danny the Dog, with Morgan Freeman, Jet Li, and Bob Hoskins. Not name dropping at all, but for me that was like I thought I was dreaming. It was a pinch myself moment every minute of the day when I was there. It was a Luc Besson movie, and all of a sudden I'm with these Hollywood greats and these British greats, and even Jet Li, you know, one of the Asia's most prolific. Him, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. There doesn't get better than that, man. He's one of the five, and I'm there with him, and I'm getting on with them. And he just took me under his wing, and he just really fucking bollocked me, and he just see I had something, and he just I remember turning up on set, and it wasn't I didn't have my lines. I was just so terrified of him, and I was so respectful of him.
Couldn't get a bigger
I just couldn't get a word out, and I was like so terrified, mate. Like, fuck, I'm literally got to act in front of Bob Hoskins now. I've not had one day in drama school. I think I did the Football Factory, Spivs. I think I've done like 3 movies and a little bit of fucking apprenticeship work, Rob. And he just pulled me at one side and said, listen to me, you. Come here. Because I walked on, he must have been in France for about 3 months listening to French people. And I walked in, I said, because Sammy Pasha, Frank Harper said, go and see Sammy. He'll look after you. And then Sammy, I went in, I said, is there a Sammy Pasha? He went, who's that? If Jet Li was bashing the shit out of him on the floor, he's got up, right? Fucking Mario. That's what I used to call him, Mario, isn't he? He's got up, Mario. And he went, who's that? And he went, that's a London accent I can hear. I went, it's me, Bob. He went, come here. Who sent you? I said, Sammy Pasha, who is his PA for all forever. He's still alive. So, and Frank Harvey said, come here. He said, do I know you from somewhere? Whatever I'd filmed had never been out anywhere. So then he looked at me and he just literally took me from there. And he went, come on, I'm done here. That fucking little cunt smashing shit out of me all day. I'm an old man now. And we walked off. And then we sat and had a whiskey, and then we got to know each other. And then a couple of days later, I was on set with him, and I was just so melty. And I was literally, I just couldn't get the words out. And he went, come here. And he pulled me and went, don't you ever fucking turn up on set again without knowing your lines. You do your work at home, the magic happens here. And I couldn't say, Bob, I'm terrified of you, mate. I
know the words, yeah.
You know what I did? I just literally went like that. I went, yes, sir, no problem. It won't happen again. Do you know what I mean? It won't happen again. And we just travelled. We travelled back and forth. He's so lovely. He wouldn't sit in the back of the car. And I took a lot from him. Because if it wasn't for him, I could have been one of these pretentious pricks that are in my business. I don't want to say any names. The ones that expect the doors to be open and all that. Yeah. He'd always sit in the front. He'd always have his driver, and he'd always say to his driver, do you want to eat? I'm going for dinner. Get in here. Do you understand what I'm saying? He'd never leave him outside. You know, and I go, well, if they want to stay outside, he goes, listen, they do what they want to do, but you're humane, your humanity should say, offer the man a bit of dinner. You're going to be in there for 5 hours. Offer him a bit of dinner. If he doesn't want to stay, but you've done your bit. If they haven't wrapped by the time you're meant to finish, bollocks used to go to me. If they haven't got the shot within the 9, 10, 12 hours you're there, they ain't going to fucking get it. And if they ask you to put your face in a bucket of shit, you ask them, are you going to use it? Because if you leave it on the cutting room floor, you're going to have a fucking problem. And that was my schooling. Do you know what I mean?
Proper. Where was he from?
He lived in Hampstead. I think he's a London boy for a North London boy.
I mean, that scene when we talk about neurology, that last scene in Long Good Friday, when he's breathing, when he knows they've got hold of him, you know they're going to ping him, and he's sitting in the back of the motor. That fear he creates on his face is unbelievable. Absolutely.
And he said that to me. He said, I said, listen, we're driving back. We're on the Eurostar. It's just me and him sitting on the Eurostar, just chewing the fat. And he'd go, I said to him, listen, and I have these anxieties and I have these fears. And I said, I need to go to drama school. He said, what for? I said, because I think I'm going to get found out. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, I just felt I'm going to get found out. He went, no. He said, too late for you, son. Too late for you. He said, you go to drama school now, they'll ruin you. And I said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you're going to start hugging people and doing all this stuff. He started telling me all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, well, look, if it takes that for me to learn my craft and own it and get it right, like you people. He went, I never went to drama school. He went, let me tell you something. He said, your greatness is your not knowing makes you fearless. The minute they start telling you how to breathe, read, punctuation, they fill your head with all this drama
Yeah,
stuff.
it's true.
Not that nobody shouldn't go to drama school. It was just too late for me.
But yeah.
And he went, go and tread the boards, which means theatre, that'll sort the men out from the boys. That'll fucking hone your craft because you don't get no second chances.
You've done a lot of theatre work, Sam?
No, I haven't done any theatre work.
Oh.
I tell you for what, I've been too busy. But what I did do, I did something that's probably more terrifying than theatre. What it was is Pizza Express had a campaign for bringing arts and theatre to their restaurants. And I'd already done a few movies in that, and they developed this spoof Godfather show. So what had happened is, lunchtimes or whatever, a corporate company down at Canary Wharf, they'd book us. They'd have like a dinner for their firm. They'd have a table of 30, and then what we'd do, we'd turn up in full kit and sit around the table and do like a spoof comedy theatre show. And I played the Godfather. I'll take the dough balls, put them in my mouth, and I'm doing them, and we're doing the dialogue. But I'm sitting with really conditioned theatre actors, like theatre goers. I mean, they're brilliant. And this is my first day, and I said to them, They went, what you're about to embark on is more terrifying than going out on a stage, you know, with a packed theatre. Going out on the stage with a packed theatre, because you're intimate with them. You're sitting next to it, and mate, I sat there. It's the worst thing. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever done. You're getting dressed in the kitchen, right? Because there's no dressing room. You're in Pizza Express for fuck's sake. And then we're walking out, and they're all recognising me. And then you always got the fucking div that goes, "Tamer, shut up, you div. What you doing?" And you're trying to do this show, and they're just destroying you. And once I went to, there's a few of the chaps there. And I thought, I can't let them down. And they're going, look at this cunt, look at this mug, look, shut up, have a glass of wine. And I got through, it was the worst thing I've ever had. Can you imagine? Ad mob out of Birmingham.
Yeah,
chucking dough balls at me and all that.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I got through that, and that was my schooling, mate. I got through that. and at the time, I wanted to kill them all. Right? But thinking about it now, it was a very long time. It was an absolute belt.
You'd have probably done the same.
It was an absolute belt. But hey, listen, even talking about the filming and the acting and that world that I'm in. If someone said to me now, because you singing and playing the guitar, I would take being a rock star of an actor any day of the week. And it's vice versa for rock stars as well. They all want to be actors. But to stand on the stage and fill 100,000 people at a concert or a charity event, singing your songs and feeling their energy,
must be amazing,
driving into you. We don't get nothing. There's none of that. It's not glamorous what we do, you know. We work 14 hours a day and we're lucky to walk down the red carpet. And if you're a busy actor, you don't even get to do that because you finish one job, you're
somewhere else in another movie,
right? You know, we don't get none of that. And even as a kid, I always used to want respect. I always used to hate queuing, you know, like I always used to I used to go to you know, Double Bass, the WAG Club, all these, you know, Gas Club and all these. And when celebrities used to turn up, like we used to go to, I knew George Michael, God rest his soul. And before I got to name, all the boys used to whine because I used to be very good looking, believe it or not, back in the day. I was skinny and very good looking. And they used to fancy me. So I got to know him, and he was an absolutely beautiful man. There was nothing like that in him. But I used to always look at people like going, God, I wish I could have the respect that he's got. I wish, you know, people would fucking take pictures of me. I mean, if I could have it now, and if I could act and not be famous, trust me, I'd act and not be famous. Right? But if you want the dough, you got to be famous. It all comes as one. But everything I've sort of wanted, just going back to what you do, everything I've sort of wanted, it's always come true. I got the girl I wanted. I got the kids I wanted. I'm a granddad.
Quality.
I've got the cars I want. I drive where I want. I get to know you. I'm on air. I go and help. Do you know? There's nothing, and I'm so thankful and God blessed, right? And I'm having a bit of an hard time at the moment. I'll be straight with you. I'm going through a little bit of shit, quite a lot of shit, because I've had people that I thought I trusted and loved, and they've turned their back on me. But let me tell you something. That's life, mate. That's life. Trust no one but your own instinct and your mother. That's all, mate. Because so true, that's life, man. I'm telling you, from a 52-year-old man, you'll go through life having friends for 20, 30 years, and they'll turn their back on you like that, right? You do everything for them like that. Don't get angry about it. I've been angry for the last fucking 18 months. I'm not angry anymore.
Yeah, it's just
I'm not angry, because it's the betrayal that hurts more than not the money or not what they say or what they do. Nobody can hurt you, because me, mate, I'm one of these people. I actually can't wait to see what's on the other side. Death don't scare me. It really doesn't. It doesn't frighten me at all. And I say it with a smile on my face. I'm excited to see what's over there. Because I've studied death. Death, you don't feel death. Death, you don't feel a thing. If it comes, I tell you, there's a funny story. You know my family, my lot. They had a bit. We was down Jamaica Road, and was at the we was at his car front, and he had one in porter cabin. He called us down, and he said, "Listen, there's a bit of ag." And we've gone, all right then. So I won't go into it because we're on here, but all of a sudden, you've heard bang, fucking loudest bang ever. Me and my mates dived out the chair. We're under the table, right, like that. Right. 5 minutes later, we've got up. He's still calm as you like, still sitting at his desk, doing the fucking books. I said, "What's the matter with you? You fuck? You got nerves are still." He said, "Listen, son, if you hear it, you're all right." It's fucking true, isn't it? He went, "If you hear it, you're sweet. If you don't hear it, you're fucked." Fucking genius, isn't it? And that's what it is. I mean, listen, we go on to those things, and you go through fucking life with. And I just wanted to share this because today I had a revelation today. I got up, I started training hard. I've got some focuses. I'm staying with him in my power now. And people could say what they want, do what they want. It don't matter anymore. Because if you slap a dog enough times, that dog will bite you, right? Yeah. And now I'm biting back. Do you know what I mean? And always get to the point where don't think you can ever change people, because you can't. You can't.
No, you can't.
They can only change themselves. And you know what? Put boxes in your head. And if you're a prat, put them in the prat box. Find out what people are and put them in them boxes, mate. And every time they behave that way, put them in that box, and then it won't hurt you. Because for me, I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be accepted as a kid. Never been accepted. I'll tell you a funny story. I got so racially abused there when I was a kid. I thought I didn't go to Cyprus till I was about 14, 12, 13, 14. Went to Cyprus. I thought, fuck, I'm going to the motherland. And this is when I understood it. I'm going to the motherland. God, I'm going to be accepted. I'm going to be accepted. Yeah. It's like, you know, growing up here, my black friends wanted to be white. We all wanted to be white. We just wanted to fit in, and we couldn't. Yeah. Cass Pennant, he was at West Ham. He was at West Ham because they accepted him and he fitted in because of his colour. We was all like that growing up. And I thought, I'm going to Cyprus. Here we go. I'm going to Cyprus. Brilliant. I'm going to finally be accepted. So what I did, I went to the village. I've turned up with the jeans on and everything, fucking the bollock. Yeah. They called me in English. CUNT, and beat me up there and all.
Joking?
No, mate.
No.
Yeah, they called me in English, fucking CUNT, and beat me up there. But it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I could have easily fouled. I could have easily sunk into my head, put my head in. But it gave me an understanding of it isn't racism, mate. It's nothing. It's just people.
People don't understand difference.
It's just people, because I'm 52 years old. People still jealous of me. People still fucking envy me. I'm thinking, fucking, ain't it beautiful? Ain't it beautiful? And I had 18 months between me and you, and you could probably see a completely different side of me now to where you spoke to me before. Yeah. There's always been like a little barrier. That barrier's gone now. Gone. Yeah. No one can hurt me anymore. Nobody can do anything to me anymore. It don't matter.
The beautiful thing is about jealousy, I say to people, is that people can only look up to someone they're jealous of. They can't look down at you, can they? So if anyone's being jealous and giving little digs, it's only because they're jealous. That means they're admiring you for something.
Listen, my man always said it. If they can't say it to your face, they're talking to your ass. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You've got the bollocks to come nose to nose with me. Come nose to nose with me. I'm not chasing it anymore. It don't matter because these people always got. I'll take a thief over a liar, mate. Because a thief will thieve it off you and go, listen, I needed it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've nicked that apple because I had to feed my kids, man. So I nicked it. But a liar would nick it and tell you a lie, say he didn't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's how they are.
Yeah.
And don't ever get agged by people because a lot of why people can't manifest these beautiful things that can I say your teachings, Robert? Because that's
mate,
what they are.
Yeah.
A lot of why I believe a lot of people, and I'm very fucking. You've got layman's terms and Tamer's terms. I'm not very technical, but I'll tell you how it is.
I love it. People love it though, don't they?
Why? Sorry, someone keeps trying to ring. Why people can't manifest what they want to manifest and have those thoughts and living what they want to be is because of all of this bullshit around them. All of this bullshit. People say they meditate. After people, I look at someone, they go to me, I go, do you meditate? They go, yeah, of course I do. I think, no, you fucking don't.
No, you don't, mate.
No, you don't, mate. No, you don't. Someone went to me the other day. He was a proper meditation guru, and he went, "You've been meditating?" I went, "Yeah." Well, I haven't for fucking about a month. He went, "I know." You just know that I went out for about a month because I've been going through so much shit. But what you've got to do is a lot of people are blocked. They have blockages, not because of their own thought process, because of what's going on around them.
The energy around them, yeah.
The energy around them
pulls them down.
You've got, and as much as if it's an old cliche, you've got to be around people on the same journey as you. Listen, it don't matter. True. If you're a drug addict, where do you go? You go to be with other drug addicts, right? If you're an alcoholic, where do you go? To the pub.
Yeah.
If you're a banker and a multi-millionaire, where do you go? You go and sit at that billionaire table. But you can go to any table you want. It's down to you, mate. And it's just it's easier said than done.
How did you find it coming from like the streets and that going into acting? How was that crossover for you? Was that strange at first? Was you a bit aggy?
I was aggy. I was aggy because in my world I was the boss.
Yeah.
I had nightclubs, restaurants. I'd made a name for myself, and I was doing okay as an entrepreneur, and what we was doing. But then all of a sudden, I've stepped out of my world where I get what I want and people do what I want into a world where I ain't the boss anymore. I've got to be on time. I've got to be prepared. I can't say bollocks, fuck it. Because if you get a job, if the budget's a couple of million quid on a movie, whatever it is, and you're one of the leads, you've got a lot of that money on your shoulders. And if you're not there and that film collapses, it's not like you're letting everyone
down.
Yeah, and I'm not that selfish person. I'm a host. I love to cook. I love to clean. I host people. You ask anyone that's been on a film set with me, I'll always get the biggest villa because I know all them kids are going to be around Uncle Tamer. I know they're going to come there when they're vulnerable, when they've had too much to drink, when they've got hangovers, when they need feeding, when they want their nappies changed. They're always at Uncle's door. Do you know what I mean? Which is great, and I love it.
Great, yeah.
So I've always been that person, Rob. And it's like, just going back. Let's just going back to the whole manifestation because I'll slip around. I wanted to get this in.
Yeah, you want to get the message.
You've got to stop letting people around you start masking what you want. Start getting in the way of what you want to do.
Well, I always say that people, everything you're fighting's in here. It ain't out here, is it? They're not your enemy.
That's put there to play tricks on you.
Yeah. Man. And these people out here causing you these problems, it's the way you deal with it in there that matters, not the problem out here, ain't it? It's the way that where you look where the problem is. Because I say to people like, like with this therapy, people keep looking outside of them. Oh, it was your mum, oh, you had an hard upbringing, oh, you've been bullied, you've been, that does cause and effects. It ain't outside of you, it causes you to feel this way. But the change has to happen in here. You have to create the cause of change, the health in here to manifest it out here. So I say like, if you was indoors, and there was a power cut, me and you are neighbours, right? There's a power cut and the keys fall off the side. I'll say, the power cut and I think, fuck this, I'm going to go in mum's, right? I ain't sitting there all right. I go to grab my car keys, they fall on the floor, Sam. Anyway, I'm on my hands and knees looking for my car keys, I can't find them. And in the distance, I can see through my blinds, there's a street light outside, so I'm thinking, fuck this, I can't find my keys, I'm in the dark, I'm going to go and stand under the street light. So I walk out in the street, I get on my hands and knees, I start having a mooch about. You pull up in the car, we're neighbours. You go, Rob, what are you doing, mate? I'm looking for my keys, Tam. You go, I'll give you an hand. You get on your hands and knees and you start mooching about and you're having a look. And after about 10 minutes, you go, Rob, where'd you drop your keys, mate? I go, oh, indoors, Tam. You go, you can't. You winding me up. You can't. I'll be fucking out in 10 minutes on my hands and knees.
10 days, yeah, looking for you off your fucking head. That's right.
So why look outside when you know it's inside? And this is what
So
people.
it's
This therapy at the moment. Everyone's looking outside of them and expect someone to tell them they're going to be okay. Someone to love them, to feel loved, and you've got to work inside here and bring that onto the outside. Do you know what I mean?
And do you know what? A lot of people live in that fear zone, mate. And the fear can be anything. Fear of I've got this £100. Fear of I've got this £100. I don't want to spend it in case I don't get it again. But hang on, how many hundreds did you get before that 100?
Yeah.
You've got to look behind it. You've got to think with logic, because I've got this £100. I've got this fear. I'm going to lose it again. I'm not going to get it again. And the biggest problem that people have, which I've had this revelation over the last week, the biggest problem that people have is that they are scared that they're going to lose people around them and not find them again. You need to sit down and look at all the people that have been in and out of your fucking life. And if they're meant to be in your life forever, they will be there. Whether you like it or not. Do not be scared of change. Stand alone if you have to. If you can stand alone and have no fear, you will stand with everybody. You can stand with anyone. And always know when it's time to exit. It's always about timing. When you know it's time to leave the room, you leave. Don't let them leave, or don't force them to leave. Just go. Get rid of the dead wood. It's fucking simple. And I'm not, people might be saying, oh, it's easy to say. It is fucking easy to say. Because if you don't go when your gut tells you to go, they're going to end up breaking your heart, breaking your brain, breaking people around you, and you're going to end up doing something stupid and then hurting everyone around them and hurting the people around you. Go, mate, just go.
Great words, Tam. Absolutely great words, that is.
I mean,
it's class, that.
Don't be afraid of it. Because people come and go on your journey of life. And they'll come, they'll go. It doesn't matter. Because you know what? And I'm guilty of that, Rob. I'm guilty of that. Oh, what about this? What about that? He's been my mate. He's been bollocks. It doesn't matter. Because you know what, mate? The minute I lay my head back, I know 1 million people. And I've done good for 1 million people. And the ones that are closest to you will leech off of you and suck you and bleed you dry until there's nothing left, and then move on to the next one, or scuttle back under that fucking rock where they come from.
So
you know what I mean? And all that bollocks. You know, all that bollocks. You go out, and all of us want to be loved. All of us want to be accepted. We all want to be the life and soul of the party. We're all attention seekers, right? And you get your dough, and you give it to everyone. When you're giving it to them, don't expect nothing back. Don't expect nothing back, because you're giving it to them. I bring my mates out with me before I used to. Come and have this, come and have that, blah, blah. And then they start performing differently, right? I've been in situations where I've had dough and I ain't had dough. And it don't matter to me. For me, money's, this is my motto for money. Making money's easy. If you can't make it, fucking take it. It don't matter, mate. Do you know what I mean? Take it. It doesn't matter. You can get it. Because don't look at the numbers, look at the zeros. Do you know what I mean? You could have the highest number, which is 9, and 1 0, that's 90 quid.
You
have 1 and 20 0. That's what you want to look at, the zeros, don't look at the numbers, mate. You know what I mean? What's your highest number? 9. Put 1 0 next to that, it's 90 quid, isn't it?
It's fuck all, is it?
Put 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it goes more than it, you know what I mean? So don't always run around looking for that money. Don't be afraid of change. Always remember, if you can stand alone and be all right, and we all can, you can stand with anyone. Because 9 times out of 10, for the most of your life, you're on your own, mate. 75% of your life, you're on your own.
And I said, if you think about, we're going to change direction from our friends anyway and family, because members ain't going to be upset about, because if you think, when anyone listening now, when you were 16, was you different at the age of 18? You're completely different geezer. And from 18 to 21, you're a different fella again, and from 18 to 30, you're another fella. So we change. Of course you are. So of course you are, Robert.
And this goes for marriage. This goes for brotherhood. This goes for friendships. This goes for relationships. If people don't change and evolve with you, you've got to go different directions. You've got to move on, and it shouldn't be angry, and it doesn't have to be aggressive and threats and all of this stuff. And he's a cunt. She's a cunt. Fuck this, fuck that. I hate him. I'm going to do this. I'm going to rip you apart. I'm going to take you everything. It shouldn't be that, mate. Shouldn't be that. Everything could be so much easier. And when there's that aggression involved, that means the person ain't ready to go. If the person ain't ready to go, that person has to change. That person has to drop the ego. Because I say to people, I'm good at relationship advice, but I'm shit with giving it to myself, right? So people go to me, my mates will go to me like, oh, is this what you wanted to talk about? Because I'm just chatting away.
No, I love it, right? Man. I love where it flows. That's what I'm into, mate. Yeah.
So my mates just got me, I'm done with her. I've had it. I'm out. See you later.
Gone.
You are? What are you telling me for? Yeah. And I go, and I used to wind him up when we was, I go, all right, if I have to roll around with her then. Right?
It's sure has. Like a fun little go, yeah.
Oh, mate, they lose their shit, and then I'll go, well, you leaving? You leaving the wife and kid? Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I'm done, mate. I've got to think of myself. What do you mean think of yourself? You just brought a kid into this world.
Yeah.
You're second best. Wait till he's old enough or she's old, and then you can bolt. Because the way I was raised is, if you're miserable, you stay. Anyway, I'd go like this. I'd say this. I'd go. All right then. Well, forget me then. You're all right with someone else smashing the old woman in your bed that you paid for. with your little baby jumping on his back. Yeah, you're right with that. Shut your mouth. I'll do you, Tam. I'll do you. Like that. I'll do you. So then I'll get it, and I'll go, you ain't ready to go anywhere. This is all bollocks.
Nowhere, mate.
Do you know the easiest way to fucking fix a relationship is go back to the beginning. Because I'll go like this. I go, listen, mate. It's the same for women. It's the same for men. You're going to get a man or a woman. You've got to fucking get to know each other. All the bollocks with the fucking flowers and going out and all the small talk. Mate, if you go back to the beginning, because we get into a relationship, married or living together, you get complacent. So you start off, baby, I'll get that. I'll do the trash. I'll open the doors and all that.
Put your best aftershave on.
Yeah, brushing your teeth after you've had to roll around, you know what I mean? You get up, you brush your teeth when you're going back to seconds, you know what I mean? You stop doing all of that stuff, don't you?
You say, babe, get me a beer out the fridge.
Yeah, get me a beer out the fridge. You light us a snack, will you? Turn up with smelly kebab and onion breath, don't you? So nobody wants that, do they? Do you know what I mean?
I know something. Treat each other like you did in the beginning, and there'd be no end. So exactly what you're saying there.
That's my actual point.
Get knocked off.
Go back to the beginning. Well done, Robert. Go back to the beginning. Start putting the post-it notes on the toilet lid when they love you, baby. Or call them. You know, keep each other on your toes. If you're totally done, you're truly done, and there's venom coming out of both of you, right? You know when you're done because it don't matter. You stop talking about it.
Yeah, it's true.
You see what I'm saying here? You stop talking about it. But if your heart tells you, look, there's still a go here, but you're up for it, and your other half is just being a fucking demon or a Trojan or whatever, you just think to yourself, and you know in your heart of hearts when it's done, as much as it's going to hurt you, just move on. Keep it moving, mate. But if you really want it, go back to the beginning. Because the worst thing you can do is go into a relationship without letting that one go, because it will forever play.
Well, I've seen studies on love, and they say that when you get these old couples, there's one thing I found really funny.
So get to my mum, please.
What we heard time and time again was from like old people.
No, just water. I'm sorry, Rob. Just water. Go on, Rob. I'm sorry.
No, so there's these studies I see on like people that have been in like successful couples, you know, like they're in their 80s or whatever. And one of the things that kept coming up time and time again is when they said to the man, like, what's the trick to a healthy relationship? You know what he said? Don't listen to her. Don't take no notice. Let it go in one ear.
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know what mine is? Do you know what mine is?
80-year-old men have got the best
relationships.
Don't take notice.
Just don't take notice. Listen, if you get, listen, but I'll say this: girls go to me. Have you been married for 30 years or whatever? And blah blah blah. I'm not anymore. But what is the secret to a long relationship? And I just go, for the men, it's simple, mate. Don't try and work them out. Just wherever you are, answer the phone. Every woman I've said that to, they've gone, see, babe, you should fucking listen to me. Listen, just answer the phone. It's true. Don't let anyone embarrass your old woman. Just answer the phone. Because, listen, if you're in the lap dancing club, mum, that's warm. What are you giving me tap water for? I swear to God, I'll knock you out, I'm telling you. She's went with me in a bottle. That was the worst I'll knock you out you've ever heard in your life, isn't it?
Tam, we've got 24 seconds left.
All right, listen, I love you.
Thank you so much, mate.
I've got it. Let's get on again soon, all right?
Legendary.
I love you, Rob.
Definitely.
Take care.
As soon as this is over, mate.
Ready?
Thank you,
After three. After three.
Tamer there, guys.
Boss. Love you, everyone. Take care. Hope you enjoyed it.
See you
Bye-bye.
later, Tam. Thanks, bro.
Bye.